everyone, and welcome to A Better You through prayer and fasting. We have been gone for a little while because we just had to have some break time, and coming back on this day, we've got our wonderful Dr. Adrian Finkelstein and our beautiful Desiree Valdez here with me. Join in with me, you guys. Join in with me. And today, there they are. Today, we are just thankful. I'm so thankful you're here with me today, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you,
Thank
Adrian.
you.
And
Blessed
look
to
at
be here.
Desiree's hair. I'm like, so it's so beautiful. Usually, you wear um, your
My veil, that's
yeah
right.
veil. It's not. It's pretty though. To see your hair like that. And of course, Adrian's got just amazing hair, and he's a stylish man. That man. Well, I wanted to thank everybody. I know we haven't been, having our shows weekly, so we're probably a little off sync with everybody. We are dedicating this show today. I'm dedicating the show today to pure love and unconditional love, true love, and the passing of my precious Yogi Bear this morning. God bless him, and God bless everybody that has lost animals or lost their family. And we all know the hardship that is, but we all know that the love that they bring us and the love that we have is eternal. And so I would like to make sure that we talk about that today. And which one of you would like to say hello first? I always, it's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Should I do ladies first or gentlemen first or both? What?
Well, we haven't heard from Dr. Adrian, and he's like our once a month guest. I'd love to see what's going on with Dr. Adrian and Mercedes. Thank you so much. And again, I'm hugging you. I'm so sorry. And yes, my sister.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Adrian, what do you think about your favorite subject, pure love and love? What do you think?
I think that love is the greatest force in the universe because everything that is there or is not there comes from love. Um, the beginning of everything appears to be also out of love because there was like nothing, no matter, as the physicists lately are labeling it. But uh, no matter, nothing is what everything sprung from through a force that is the greatest in the world is love and is God or numerical order or universe, whatever you call it, stands for the same thing. It's the highest force in the universe. God and love in the Hebrew language and the Aramaic languages that have 22 letters that Hebrew belongs to, that family of languages, shows that numerologically, if you take the name of God that is the most sacred in Hebrew, that corresponds to Aramaic, so it's 26,
Mhm.
while love is 13. So it seems like God has to do with making love, love with love. You respond with love to love. Everyone is looking for something to love, somebody to love, and be loved in return. It reminds me Nat King Cole song. But anyway,
I was singing "Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime."
oh
I
yeah,
think it's Steve
yeah,
Martin.
it's inevitable because that's the essence of existence, of being. and we are beings. So we belong to that being group, which is infinite. Um, no beginning, no end. Sometimes I'm looking, the sky like I saw lately, the full moon, round, very round,
Yeah.
and and I think all planets are for some reason round, and our head is round. Not always. There are some squares, but anyway. um, no, I'm just kidding. I think we all have the essence of being round, no beginning, no end.
Yes.
And that's something that has to do with rebirth, reincarnation, spring at a certain time of the year. Everything is numerically precise in the world made by that superior, most superior power that is God. And God is good. People say, how people become wise? Uh, yeah, they become wise by questioning. And when you question, you find out eventually that um, devil, the evil, doesn't work, but God, God, works.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work in parallel with devil. It's either one or the other, and we choose. As we have free choice, we are made in God's image and likeness. We choose good God, and this way we eliminate automatically. We void the evil devil, and this is what in the unseen realm we're talking about, the exorcists that help, I mean, help in, enable, um, coach this process. But I think it's something very important to know that, you know, we're talking about wisdom. Yeah, we can call it wisdom, seeing what works and what doesn't work. You find out what works. So that's wisdom. That's the way we mature in one life and in many lifetimes. So when we call somebody chronologically being old that knows it all, it's true partially, but not all.
Yeah.
That not it's just partial. The real wisdom comes with many maturing experiences. In other words, experiences in which you um, you see what works and what doesn't, and you become a little bit smarter, so wiser. But it takes time, usually many lifetimes, not a chronological life. It's important, the chronological life. The more you live in one life, the more you mature, obviously. Most of us do that. So I think, coming back to love, uh, this is what we are doing in anything, in all our walks of life, whether we're talking about, oh, um, prayer, fasting, knowing oneself. Um, Everything is really um, love soluble, so to say in quotes. Um, and I haven't heard something to be creative that comes out of hate soluble. So um, I think that lately what we're doing here is a process of help. We're in the helping professions, but you cannot help anyone uh, to know things. Um, you may know some things, but to pass it to somebody else, like to the audience and others, um, you know, you can help in the sense that you help the person to find the teacher within himself. That's the best teaching. I personally, in Chicago, Illinois, many years ago, for 4 years, 4 times a week, I laid on a couch of a psychoanalyst and I spilled my guts out. So that's the method of having people grow and mature by themselves. You're just holding their hand. Five fingers. Five is also one of the names of God. You put five with five, you get also 10, perfect number. But you hold people by the hand, but they have to do it with God, the teacher within themselves. So you awaken the teacher within, as a healer, as a doctor, as a person in any walk of life, and in your own family, in your group of friends, here on this podcast, in any others like Unreal Realm. So love. Um, it's interesting that love in Hebrew also has four letters. Ahava. Um, Ahava is in Hebrew. So Ahava is four letters. Aleph, A, H, V, A. So and the most sacred name of God is also four letters. Is Yud Hey Vav Hey. In other words, I V A A. So you have four letters. Um, four is very interesting because it's also square. I was thinking about some people that have a numerology of their word, of their birthday. I'm sorry. Um, that is 40. One of them is Trump. I don't know. I'm not political or anything. I'm just,
Mhm.
I cannot help to notice things just because politically they may be incorrect to some. But what, uh, what I found out is that 40, um, the numerical order in the universe, is bringing the divine zero into four physical. Four physical is, and the divine is love, is creative in the physical sense here. Because four, if you take this thing is four, you get
Yeah,
down and stands, is physical.
true.
All right, so I'm trying to get back to you. I don't know why I lost you.
Oh, no. Can you not see us?
Just a second. I don't know. Just a second. All right, now I'm back.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was
You see, when
wondering.
I show that and I click on the computer, something
Oh,
mysterious happened. Anyway,
I was wondering.
yes,
I
focus,
was
focus.
wondering. Have
It's
you?
peekaboo.
I was wondering when you were a child or growing up, teenage years, were you the same, saying the same type of things, analyzing it like that? Is kind of what I'm wondering.
I'm
You know,
sorry about
were
that.
when you were growing up, were you did you think like you do now, like you how you say words? I've been watching a lot of Monk. I have the whole series, and I didn't really watch Monk when it came on, but now I'm watching it. And I love the way he analyzes things, and sometimes they take him back to his childhood, like when he's a child. And I started thinking about you, Adrian, like I wonder if you were like that when you were a child and a teenager. Were you thinking love is LOV? You know how you say your words?
Yeah,
Were, were you like that as a child too? Talking like
yeah.
that?
As a child, I am told that I was very loving, very passionate, very, I don't know, in a physical way, in a feeling way. I mean, but my mother was also like that, and she was, uh, I mean, that's probably why I reincarnated with her as a parent, um, because it's like Sesame Street, it's putting what belongs to each other. So,
What belongs to each other?
being together, yeah.
Yeah. We, yeah.
And but we have to be together. As Martin Luther King, for instance, he used to say we should live together like brothers or perish like fools. So I think love is very important, and I didn't know about what love is. This notion. I mean, as a kid, most kids probably don't think about it to analyze that, but you feel it, you feel it. And I always felt love. I always felt like helping people. When I was very young, I had a great grandmother. We call her Baba. Baba was living alone, and I was about, oh, maybe 8 or 9. But I lived like a mile away, or it was a lot for me as a kid, and I didn't have a bike or something. I would walk to her because I was worried about her. I wanted, so I wanted to see if she has food or things, and um,
Oh,
so and then
Mm.
she was
that's love.
dear to
That's
me.
love. That's pure love.
That's beautiful, love. God bless you.
And
Wow.
then she'll make a soup for me in the Yiddish. Say, Addy, Addy, Adika. It was
Aww.
I made a soup for you.
Oh,
And it says it in the Yiddish, it's a golden soup. It's a golden soup means it's a golden soup because it
Yes.
looks like gold. Chicken soup, uh, chicken penicillin, Jewish penicillin. I don't know. So, but I was always worried about her, and and she was very happy to see me. So, uh, so that's an example. Love. When I was 5 year old, there was a Second World War, and our house in Bucharest, Romania, was destroyed by a bomb, and there was a crater, and at the bottom of the crater was a little piglet, carbonized. And I was with my father bending over the crater, and I looked at it, and I said, "Dad, what happened to him?" And he said, "Well, it's because of the bomb he died." And I said, "What is death?" And I started thinking about that. If we
Mm,
love so much, why should be death there?
mm,
Should be bombs,
mm,
should be wars. So, and my father said, "Well, that's the way it is, and you have to learn that there's sometimes people get older and they die." And I think I mentioned in one of the
yeah.
podcasts together that that was part of my growing up. That when you grow older, some pet may die, some relative may die, and to accept it, but I didn't accept it. I I say I don't agree with that. I shouldn't be like that. But he said, "Well, you'll find out." And then I saw that he had white hair coming up, a few hairs. So I said, "You said that because he told me that as you grow older, you get, this hair. That's probably I don't have white hair." So and neither do you, Aisha, Desiree. But anyway, so uh, when I grow up, I'm gonna do something to make you never die. So that's it. So I stuck with this reincarnation and life and death, nothing and all, and things like that. People tend to divide things. There are things that you can love and things that you don't love, and it's not so because everything is one. God created everything as one together. Whatever happened in all our lives, including the present one, is part of us, whether it's positive or negative. However, we're made in God's image and likeness and given a free choice to choose the positive. And by the way, in Hebrew again, in Aramaic languages family, uh, if you take the words positive and God, they equal each other. One of the words of 40 words for God is Adonai. Well, Adonai is composed of two I. Each I is 10, so it's 20, right? And then positive is the the root of the word is Hiuv, HIV. HIV means something else in our language, but no, HIV in Hebrew is positive. So being positive, the root for the word positive. So and H is 8, um, I is 10, is 18, and V is 2, 20. So 20 equals 20. Adonai equals positive, being positive. And we're coming here over and over to learn to be positive, and the main trait of positivity is love.
How about when you don't feel loved? When you live a life where you feel like you're not loved, and how do you share with somebody that's not felt love, or maybe didn't even has never experienced love? There's a lot of people that don't even have animals or pets, and I feel like sometimes I think they miss out on that little piece about unconditional love, that if they've never experienced it, like having a dog or a cat as a companion, or what a horse or whatever. What do you say to that, Dr. Adrian? How do people find that true love or that type of love?
We're getting to the first gambit of this talk together today, which is my psychoanalysis for such a long time, 700 uh, of hours of 45 minutes. Each hour is 45
It's a
minutes.
lot.
So I lie on a couch and spill out my guts. And
Yeah.
this is the way I learn about myself, not from the psychoanalyst. The psychoanalyst just says, uh-huh, mhm, mhm. So it's very frustrating because you want an answer. But that's the way they do it purposefully because they want you to find out by yourself about yourself and give the answer. And that is what stays. This is what is the most important, not,
Um,
not his inside, but your inside.
well,
And that should be extended. That's the way it started with Freud, and it should be extended to all helping professions, to anything that has to do with teaching or helping professions, uh, to find modalities to make the person find out the answer by itself.
Mhm.
what do you think about that, Desiree? Have you ever had
Yeah,
psychoanalysis?
I understand what I've actually been on the other side. I've been the one on the couch. I understand what Dr. Adrian's saying, and it is actually, and it's true. I can relate because that's pretty much they make you have to you find the answer within yourself. You work out the roots and the vines, and you prune yourself, and you know the answers are within you, and the discovery of and what I of everything is accessible because we're children of God. God is the creator, God is the source, and he is the almighty. And so but when we're retro I guess when I guess I can say, as far as how I understand it, is like that was something that I had to learn to understand, because I thought it was like, oh, I go and I share, and you're going to give me the solutions, because I did not grow up knowing what good love was or what love was, and I did not grow up um, understanding some things. What I thought my idea, because some people grow up in different circumstances, I guess, or situations, and maybe what we understand was healthy and loving, other people may see that as toxic, or other people may see that as abusive, or they have other names for it that may not be healthy and beneficial. For example, if I had a choice, I could have led a life of gangs and of other things, of a different lifestyle, and I chose otherwise. And I'll tell you that the credit goes is to God. I didn't understand that and know that I was younger. I just kind of knew that I didn't like what I saw. Everybody was crying too much. And although I didn't know how to achieve what I saw on TV of this fantasy of, people happy and everything, I knew that something had to exist because, where would this story come from?
Yeah.
Um, and that kind of like is what I understood. Like I think I've always been not I think, but I mean, as far as I can remember, I always loved. I've loved my parents. I've always loved animals, creatures, flowers, nature. That's just been my nature of who I am as a person. And I've always been, people may say, sensitive, because if an animal gets hurt, I cry. If plants and all that get destroyed, or the forest, and all that, it hurts my feelings because I feel it affects. But yeah, finding that is hard. I will say this is what I did find. First Corinthians, and say this is like in my 20s. First Corinthians 13 was something that like was well, maybe not my 20s, my 30s. I'm sorry, I lied. Later in my 30s, and it was like the best way for me to understand of how to what is love and consideration of love, because like when I went to therapy, or when I went to counseling, or when I read books, self help, I was also a Buddhist, So in Buddhism, it's all about letting go, letting free, karma, making sure that you don't have like this depth of bad karma, which includes also your thoughts. And now, as a believer, I understand it is more of a posture of my heart, and it's having a spirit of God and walking Christ like. But I do use Corinthians, verse 13, and it's the one where we say, "If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I'm only a sounding gong." This is New International Version. Uh, Gong, or clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all my possessions to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part, but when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away of childhood behind me, for now we only see a reflection as in a mirror, then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And I kept that because it helped me, and I worked on each of those because even keeping records of wrongdoings, I found myself, wanting to do that. Well, you said that and you did this. And when I'm loving God and God is love, that's how I know. Like before, I used to believe love is love, and when I put love is love in the air, it kind of left like no foundation and it could left up for anybody's interpretation. But when I understood and I accept God as love, God is the remain the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and all his promises are real and his word is real. And so it's the best foundation in life to have. And you can count on it. It's not going to change. And if the idea and to know that there's a heaven, and not an idea, but to know that there's a heaven and there's an ever after and there's an eternal, and that in Ecclesian, or was it Ecclesians or E- Ecclesians?
I think it's the Galatians.
Thank you. Yeah. Was it
That's what I've
12?
heard. In
Oh,
Texas,
thank you.
you might
Right.
say it different. Southern.
I know. Sorry. I'm, uh,
Galatians.
Ecclesians. Excuse me. But like he says, what does he say? He says that what is oh here's then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. And when I lost Bells and like my pets and stuff, like it hurt my feelings too, and loved ones, and so I had asked. Yeah, I had asked, like, because I wanted to know. And a lot of people want to know, like, will I see my loved ones or will I see my fur baby? And I say yes, and God showed me that. I believe God's words. I believe my animals, like God does create everything. God is your creator. And so if his spirit is in all of creation, then hallelujah. I'm looking forward to going to heaven. I'm looking forward to being with God and being among, however God is, wherever he puts us and places us, being reunited. And that right there gives comfort of love in my heart. And it's like an eternal love that I can count on, that I know won't disappoint me. It's an eternal love that is forever. And no matter what, and it doesn't change. See, like mankind, we have feelings, and one day I love you, one day maybe I might feel a certain way, or maybe one day I may not have that energy. But man, God is like the source. He like is like forever. He never runs out, and it's like so awesome. So yes,
You
God
know,
is
what you're saying, it's what we're referring in the beginning, and this oneness and the versus division. And we tend as people to divide, and God asked us to multiply, uh, basically to add to each other, which is positive, plus. But, in the uh, division basically means, like we see now in the Congress, how in the Senate to vote for funding our soldiers. Um, you know, so it's like half a country hates half a country instead of
mm,
loving each other.
right.
We said that Lincoln or somebody that a house divided cannot stand or something. But anyway, um, we divide things like in time, in space, in person, um, in location, um, when in essence everything is one and sprung from nothing, from chaos, right? So it's not going to work this way, and this is our wisdom we talked about before, to recognize what situation teaches us that works and what doesn't work. and then do what works. And that's the way we learn and mature. So they haven't learned yet in this history, which is obviously a young country here, but I'm talking in the world as whole. Is not much difference as compared with the immensity of what it is. But uh, like for instance, we talk about past lives or a marriage, um, a past relationship. Well, it's like gone. You put it behind, as they say, and you move forward. So you forget about it. I don't know. My instinct, my uh, prompter up there is telling me, no, that's not the way. Everything that you have experienced over lifetimes is part of you, and the only thing is that you have been given the free choice to pick up what is good, positive, and beautiful in your being, and let go of the rest. Uh, uh, in terms of not being aware of it. What is the secret of remembering things? Because we see an epidemic of uh, forgetfulness these days. Since 1960, they constructed all these electronic devices and they attack the myelin of the nerves that contribute the conductivity of the impulses, nerve impulses, and
Mhm.
people, especially as they get older, started forgetting more than any other time in the history.
Hmm.
Uh, and what is the difference between 1960s and on and before? Before we didn't have all this, um, you know, radiations that destroys, tissues in the body, especially the most sensitive, which are the nerves. They're, myelin, uh, you know, that protects them, the axon of neurons. So I guess some people came with ideas and they want to make a lot of money to say, oh, we discovered something now. We have these blueberries. It's very natural, but we mixed it up. They processed already that with with oil because oil is fat soluble and the brain is fat. So it goes to the brain from the blood, and this way it protects, it revives this axons, myelin sheets. So so they sell it for $59 a bottle or something, or drops.
You just eat the blueberries and
Blueberries, yeah, it was demonstrated they are very good for the nervous system, very nutritious antioxidants. However, they may not go as much through the blood-brain barrier because they are hydrosoluble. So if you combine them with some oily stuff like, let's say, pumpkin seeds or flax seeds or something, it may become more fat soluble and penetrate through the barrier and go to the brain easier. You don't have to buy pills for that. I mean, they make a lot of, and you have to buy because a lot of people do the same thing now and says, yeah, but my pill is different. It works. The others don't work. So it's so transparent that it's ingenuine. How you say?
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but to come back to separation, past, present, and future. For example, when you were divorced, you have children from another family. You have even the spouse that you divorced. I mean, you could have had a very bad relationship with that spouse, but sometimes you're called for being human and help. It happens with me with people in the family. I have to understand that though, forgive them, God. They don't know what they're doing, as Jesus says. But they are in trouble, and I'm a human being. I have to help. I ask other people in the family, "Oh, you shouldn't help this because it was a bad person." So I say, no, no, no. Everyone is a human being. It didn't know, it was ignorant to what was doing, and has to learn, and it may take some time. But my mission is to help. So, so that's in a nutshell. So it's division versus unifying. God unifies. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, which means is the it's the greatest prayer, that we have in the morning and at night. Uh, Bless you, God. Our God, God is one, and in other words, everything by this example that it gives us that we can emulate. We're all one. And if you separate us through hatred, through different negative feelings and ideas and actions, and what do you get? You get like the situation now with Iran, and it wants to destroy the world. It's threatens everyone. They look like infants, in terms of their emotional development. They may have a high IQ, but they don't have much wisdom and understanding. And and these are the three components of what is the divine intelligence. But they are using just a part of it in a very childish way. Wanting to receive, um, to receive for their ego, for their power, to have the world squirm in their hand, power. What is that? It's anything that's temporary and is destructive. So, but people have been that way. The history shows a certain trend that there are more destructive things that are happening to to counteract the good, and the good usually has to prevail. Otherwise, the world will disappear, and that's not the purpose of love, of creating the world by God.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I didn't know about Iran. Haven't been watching the news because it upsets me so much. And well, actually, Vincent's on the chat today. And the other day, I ranted and raved about America and bad people, and I thought I had put that on private.
Oops.
And so I didn't think anything about it because I thought, well, I do that a lot. I'm like, oh, I better not share that, or I'll share something, then I'll delete it, or I'll put it on private. So because I know it'll upset people. And Vincent came in, he's like, what? And then I messaged him and I said, I meant to not actually share that really publicly. But that's what happens, you get upset. Like, I mean, even I've been thinking about this a lot. So this is a good time to think about this. On top of all that was happening, and my emotions were running high about all these crazy things that are happening in our country. And then, with the dog, with Yogi Bear getting sick, and every single day I'm doing these prayers, and I'm caught up in emotion. And then I'm writing that book, and I sent it off to uh, I sent what I had off to Adrian, and um, he wrote the forward. Thank you for writing the forward to the new book.
You're
But
welcome.
wow, thank you. It's beautiful, beautiful forward. So I'm actually looking at it and rewriting some of it now because of what happened this week. I feel as if I was like, how am I talking about being a light worker and all this positive stuff, which I normally feel, but I was really bombarded and I wasn't feeling like that. In fact, I was feeling anti-light worker, basically, like I wasn't that. And I thought, wow, I need to rethink some of the things I'm writing because it's made me really look at myself like I have a lot of work to do too. I guess I have lived in a bubble maybe, or maybe this last few years or since the pandemic has really opened my eyes to what I guess was already there and maybe I just didn't see it. And so I do see a lot of the people that I thought were loving, kind, wonderful people that I was bonded with in my work. I see them out there really ranting and raving and hating a group of people that I love. And it's really been hard for me to understand a lot of the people that they hate are my family members, which are a certain political group, and my all my family, So I never understood. I thought when I was growing up, and maybe people didn't experience this, but I did. Like I thought I grew up like Sanford and Son, like they were. I mean, black people were on the Andy Griffith show. I mean, I grew up like that in a way. Like I didn't think I thought we
Yeah.
were past racism. I thought that my generation, we were getting past that.
It's not
I
it's
had
not
gay
funny.
people I worked with all the time. There was gay people. There was, I mean, we were all like, we weren't killing each other. We weren't saying, hey, you are racist. You hate us. Nobody was doing that. And I watch all these old shows, so I'm always looking at all these old shows and all of them, all of the shows I grew up when I was even little, like they have all mix of colors in them. So I'm like, where are people saying that they didn't have? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it is on the TV. I mean, it is on these shows that we were all mixing together, and I don't remember what has happened these last few years like this. So I think it's all planned. I think it's all master planned, and I'm getting off on subject. Love, love.
It's okay.
So, but I guess
But
what I'm roundabout saying is like, I need to relook at that book. What I'm saying, some of the a couple of chapters, and I really need to rethink myself because I need to be able to share what a person that like myself, like you too. We work with people. We love people. We try to help people. We're the light. We are the light workers. And so if I'm upset and not liking somebody, then I'm not doing what you guys have just said. I'm not doing that. Love is patient, love is kind, love is understanding, and all that. And that's a very important verse for me. And so it really makes you look at yourself and say, wow,
mhm.
how can I be better? And I think Adrian had it right. Like, I mean, we are one. And somebody mentioned to me the other day, like, oh, I think it was a client that came here, and she was talking about like, what if you imagine? I don't think I've ever done this actually. What if you imagined you were Jesus? That Jesus was actually in you, which I think he is, or talking through you. What would that be like? And I was like, wow, I never thought about that. Like, so I mean, but that when you think like, if he were to step into me right now, and he could, how would I be? What would I see? What would I say? I would be different. It's love. Rant over.
Oh, that wasn't a red.
Well, it's, uh, it's very intriguing. The subject as a whole. It's why if something was created out of love and was meant to be living in bliss in the Garden of Eden, uh, ends up outside the Garden of Eden and working hard with the sweat of the brow and suffer and they are sick and suffer poverty and but especially they don't like each other even in their own families many times. So, I think that everything is for good. God created, even in this manifestation, we have to read it that everything that happens, good or bad, is finally for good. Only the University of Life it requires many courses and many many locations to do it, and in time, in place, in person. So that's why I'm saying that the past is not past; it's still there. It's part of you. The present, obviously, is here, and in the future is, is something that you cannot physically identify what will be in the future. But if you assume that time is bending over itself, like Einstein described, and I agree with him, because it's like a round, it's like the moon, the full moon. So it's never an end, and so you expect that things will stay like that forever when you talk about past, present, and future, and they are not separated, divided, but they are a whole. And instead of throwing them away, learn from them to do something positive. Um, that's my. Oh, some people say, oh, I'm allergic to this kind of negativity. And this, I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to get divorced. Yeah, sometimes you have to do it. But the point is, the main course of things, of what the numerical order of this creative universe, and we're creative too, in line with that, is to create or recreate the oneness that we lost, the lost paradise. And it's a it's a privilege rather than a duty to do that, because it affects all of us. And as I said, one cannot be happy at the expense of the happiness of all. Uh, we, we will be happy when, depending on others being happy too, we're one. You cannot have a hand and one finger is full of pus. You say, oh, the other fingers are, we're happy, don't care. But it's gonna spread to the other fingers too, and
Yeah.
it's not good. So, I think uh, we live in a very fascinating world. I knew Sheila McLean's psychic, Kevin Ryerson. I haven't corresponded with him lately, but we were good friends, and he made a movie with Sheila McLean, and you know, um, we um, we should you should really understand that sometimes we're not together. The other day, my grandson, the one that made me a grandfather in this lifetime, um, got married with a beautiful girl and young kids, and they're dancing, and he's throwing her up, and I mean, but um, they didn't have the wedding in this country, but in Mexico. So I thought, well, that's fine. I can understand the little guy. I mean, he's not little; he's taller than me physically, but yeah, he's a nice, handsome guy. So I think it's fine. He didn't want to have the negativity of encountering some people in the family that were adverse to marrying from another religion. So you know. So I thought the best thing is to go there, and he didn't invite me or something, but he told me that, and I understood him, and I told him he's a Libra, so I told him, Libra is a very loving sign of the zodiac, um, it's not very demonstrative uh, side. Are you Libra? No, no, Libra is like as good as anyone. So I'm saying, but I tell him I'm on the cusp of Libra myself. I'm
Yeah,
Scorpio.
you're Scorpio.
Yeah. So, but I'm a few things like the ascending is Libra.
Yeah.
So I look like a Libra, a very nice person. I may not that nice inside if I'm Scorpio. But anyway, so I'm trying to make up for that as much as I can. So, but I told him, look, I know you don't call me. You're in business. You're building. You're doing this. You're doing that, and you don't want to be here to have the wedding together. I know why, and it's fine. I know that deep inside you love me, and I love you. And he says, exactly, exactly, Grandpa, exactly.
That's good then. Because he is
Aw,
your grandson.
Yeah.
He does love you, and you love him.
they're
So,
very.
you want to say something?
Go ahead, Desiree.
Oh, I was just gonna say that was. I hear you. That I loved hearing that. And you are. If you were my grandpa, Dr. Adrian, I would just be absolutely in love with that idea because you have so much to share, so much wisdom, and very loving and understanding, and you see skin deep. You just don't see on the outside. You actually would question why, and that's sometimes what sometimes youths or young adults or people need, so they can answer, because sometimes they need to ask themselves why, and to reflect on that. So
I
yeah,
know
that's
that some people in my family were very
love.
hurt that they weren't invited.
Mm.
So,
They gonna do it again?
no, no, they felt very hurt that they weren't invited. I think, well, what's to invite here? He knows that you're not coming anyway. So, just for the face to
Yes.
that he cares, but he cares. He doesn't have to show. He's not a very demonstrative guy. So but I understand people, and really, really, everyone is right in this world. It's like in Fiddler on the Roof. The story that Fiddler on the Roof was a movie, right? That was very successful, blockbuster. But anyway, there was a remote village in Russia, Anatevka, and he was you know, the milkman there imparting milk. It's not milk like now you get it in bottles and things. He had to pour it on there to come with the, you know, with the um,
The
the
cacao
carriage.
and
He
all that.
got a carriage and the little a little how you say
Container.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, and he would come there, and then the people would come for the milk, and he will have a lot of wisdom to share. And he was the wise man of that village. So one day, somebody asked, how comes Tevi was his name. Tevi, I sold that man a, a, a horse, beautiful horse. He was a salesman. But anyway, a beautiful horse and all this, and he's cursing me and my family, and wants the money back. Uh, I don't want to talk with him. He's a bad man. Do I do you agree with that? And Tammy said, "Oh yeah, yeah. If he did that to you." But the other one overheard it. Said, "Tammy, he didn't tell you all the story. He gave me a horse, and I paid a lot of money. It's an old horse with falling teeth, he's gonna die in 1 or 2, 3 days. So, and he cheated me. So, oh, he did that. Oh, you're right. And the third person overheard all this and said, Tevye, they cannot be both right at the same time. And he looked at him, he said, you know what? Yes, you're right.
Was that in Fiddler in the Roof? Was that really interesting? Because I've seen that in play. I've seen the movie. I've seen it in a play, and I don't remember. That's funny, but that makes so
It's
much sense.
possible for a lot of people to be right at the same time. Why should you be? People, I'm right. You're not right. This is part of the stress in the world. Being right, doubling down on something, even a stupidity, but just to double down for the ego. So I guess, no, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
It's very easy.
Remind me never to argue with you.
So anyway, but I think I'm talking about love and about being one and adding things. God unifies and the people divide, and that's the influence of the devil, will call it, to make things negative and miserable and destroy things and people and countries and to make worse. So I think we need to come back to return to the lost paradise, and the lost paradise is to be one.
And
Amen.
you wrote a book called Return to Love, and a movie, right? The book is Return to Love.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
interesting. That it's like one of those phrases that is part of your makeup because you're always knowing that that's what we have to do. We have to return to that.
yeah. Well, I see. Uri Geller, you know him, Uri Geller. Uri Geller is a famous psychic and psychokinetic, powerful individual. He has this gift, an Israeli guy that helped with the army and everything because he could do things through psychokinesis, move things, uh, bend forks and things like that. Uh, and he did shows and things. Start the uh, the wire train. I think by pushing a button with his mind uh, from a distance. So, but anyway, he also endorsed some of my books. So, yeah,
Wow,
Uri Geller. Yeah, and now he's talking with Trump. He's saying what you're doing. I can find people where they are and tell you exactly how to get rid of them in Iran. You don't need
that,
anything. You need me.
oh, he's been. Oh, wow, that's very interesting.
I've heard of that. I'm using remote viewers for
Yeah,
that.
It's not because Jewish. It's just he has his talent. I think. I assume there are many like him, but I happen to know him because he endorsed my books. Some
that
of
that's amazing. I mean, it's just weird, isn't that weird? He endorsed your books, and now he's back in, doing that. That's very interesting. I know
yeah.
Desiree's been. You started your Breaking Bread. I saw that you had done a show last week, and
Yeah.
so I know
Mhm.
you're starting to share your messages, and I think that's
Yeah, I'm gonna go again, or not go again, but I need to share more just to some more clarity and just more things are coming. But yeah,
Well, I think that today we talked from some angles about love and prayer is part of your work, prayer and fasting. And lately, I was thinking about prayer that has been confirmed by science through MRIs and electroencephalograms and other tests that there is a, whenever you say a prayer, a positive prayer, you see the physical change in the MRI, in the EEG, and that is a good, relaxing, very healthy. Uh, so that corresponds with the spiritual prayer, meaning of prayer. So the scientific backs up the spiritual proof.
That's
So
so cool.
very interesting. And why? Because everything is one. Science, spiritual. Again, we're coming to the same thing. All the roads lead to Rome.
Well, you know, well, it reminded me, if I may, when I lost my eyesight, right, and I was praying, and I was going through a lot of testings because they were going to do surgery, for my skull, brain surgery, and in that, I was constantly listening to the Bible. I was listening to scripture. I was listening to Psalms and Proverbs, and during my sessions, going through, you get MRIs, you get through like testings, and then just overall, I was bedridden for a long time. Well, I say a long time, but like months is a long time to me. Like literally bedridden. I lost like muscle atrophy, or I had muscle atrophy. So that's how bedridden. I was listening to that, and while I was listening, though, I was thinking about, I was like, because I was trying to apply the principles and the thing and the techniques of science as well, of like positive thoughts, positive actions, mind over matter. If I can believe it, it will work. If I can visualize it, I can manifest it in my body. If I, and I would listen to the words and over again, and then, in the Bible, it says like there's the power of the tongue or life and death. And, this is how I was coming into my relationship. But I was taking the science approach to that before I even really understood really kind of what I was doing. And look, I could see. So I would definitely say like, hey, and it would give me calmness too. For a lot of things, because I was having anxiety. I would get like some panic attacks sometimes, or feel like very anxious because you can't see. So, getting familiar and whatnot with the new environment, and just the lossing of being able to be free or mobile. Yeah. Wow. That was like, isn't that just like, that's awesome. I think that's so, I believe it. And I think if anybody's listening, if that, absolutely, you got the science to it, if you got the spiritual, you know, fire to it, like, yes, it is solid, you can't,
Well,
like, you
increase
win.
credibility in prayer, and prayer is in a way you go with the faith, full faith in prayer, and say,
Mm,
they say that faith is not belief without truth, but trust without reservation, and basically what it gives you knowingness by yourself. You don't have to know from others. Others only may instill in you to know yourself, and you have that now knowingness once you feel with all your faith that you're one with God.
mm,
And once you're one with God, you don't have to know. You already have the knowingness. It comes.
right. And that's what you can't teach people.
I
Wow.
love
Yeah.
that. I
I
love
love
that.
that.
And
But
I
I
and
have to go. I have to go to a person in the family now to take her to a dentist because she didn't take care of her teeth for a long time. She's an elderly, so I have to go to be there probably by not later than 1 o'clock.
oh,
Uh,
you gotta go. Thank you.
so that at 1:30 I have the appointment to a dentist, a good dentist there in Malibu.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you for being here with us. And we will see you again 1 month from today. You'll be back with us. And we thank you, Adrian. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, and thank the viewers and the world and God above all for enables us to do what is good for all as one.
Amen.
Mm.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Thank you. And thank
All
you,
right.
Desiree. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Mercedes.
Everybody that's been on the chat today. We love you. We appreciate you. And God bless everybody. Thank you so
Love
much.
you back.
Yeah.
Love you. God bless y'all.
God bless you. Bye.
Feel good, I feel great. I'm living through